All right, welcome back to another edition of Recovery Today. I'm Scott Jones with Addiction Training Center, and of course, you've seen me on Live Out Loud podcast. But Recovery Today, we talk about all things to do with recovery from addiction, the problems that we're facing, the changes in addiction, and more importantly, what are the answers for the people out there who are really looking for help? What are the answers for people who have maybe given up all hope? There's always hope. Our guest today, once again, we want to welcome back Elisabeth.
Hi.
Hi, Elisabeth. Elisabeth is the director of Broward PSR and IOP for Chrysalis.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
It's terrific. Now, Chrysalis, we've talked about Chrysalis before. Chrysalis has IOP and PSR. Again, a reminder, IOP, intensive outpatient for addiction treatment. PSR, psychosocial rehab for people with mental health disorders. Mm-hmm. And ladies and gentlemen, we all know most of the time those two things go hand in hand. So it's great to have both programs working for you.
Right.
You have it in Broward and you have it in Miami-Dade.
They're both co-occurring, actually.
They're both co-occurring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, but if somebody comes from outside of the area, if somebody's listening to this up in Palm County or over in, I don't know any West counties. Do you know any West County names?
But Naples is
not a county. That's a town.
But still, it's a town. It's on the way.
All right. Well, if you're from over on the other side where you're afraid of the ocean and have to live on the Gulf.
Hillsborough County. Yeah.
Where?
Hillsborough's Tampa.
Hillsborough's Tampa. How do you know that and not know the other ones?
I just know it.
Polk. There's a Polk County
There's
somewhere.
a Polk County somewhere. Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, our geography lesson will have to wait. We're going to keep going with this. If they come from out of the county, it doesn't mean you can't help them, right?
Correct. Yeah. So if they're coming from out of the county, same thing we do for anybody else. We're going to run their insurance benefits. We're going to let them know what their options are.
Now, with the insurance benefits, it's important, and I want to make this very clear. If you've been turned down by other people, or if you're concerned because you've got Medicaid, you got the Obamacare, you have maybe an insurance that just everybody says this insurance is no good, but Chrysalis has made it their mission to make sure they get help to everybody they possibly can help. So they should call, right?
Exactly. So call, and we've even had scholarships at times. So we generally have a few scholarship spots. We do take Medicaid. We take many of the private insurances. So at least give us a call so we can try to help. Yeah.
So you don't have to live in Broward or Dade County to get these services. You just have to be available to be there in Broward and Dade, and probably, I mean, there's certainly a lot of resources. I'm sure that Chrysalis has resources if they're going to look for housing and stuff. You have numbers and different people.
Right. We have case managers. Yeah, absolutely. We have case managers. We also, if they live in Broward or Dade and are going to come to one of those programs, we offer transportation for most of the county as well.
Good point. Yeah, I was actually very surprised that you guys have such a good transportation system there that people can get into recovery. We're taking away the excuses is what we're doing.
Exactly.
Because there's 1,000 times people have said, well, nobody's going to take me, or I can't get there, or anything. That's not the case now.
Right.
Yeah, come on in. Now, you mentioned scholarship, but more importantly, it's like this idea that Chrysalis has at their recovery centers to try to get the services to as many people as possible. There's a real commitment to helping the community with Chrysalis, isn't there?
There is. No, it's really what I've been driven with Chrysalis. I've been there about 10 years now. A few weeks ago, just had my anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did they give you like a cake or something?
They should. If
they haven't done it yet.
No, some of my staff did.
All right, all you guys, I'm telling you, get her a cake right now. All right.
No, my staff actually did get me a cake, which was really, really sweet.
Excellent.
Yeah. But no, something that it made me really reflect over my time there and how much everything has changed, and that we're constantly moving forward. That's what, even when we're training therapists and counselors and everybody to come in, that's one thing that we'll constantly say, are you okay with change? Because we will change. As the community changes, we are here to fill the needs, and we are here to change with it. We're not trying to, keep our jobs the same. There's nothing effective in doing that. So for us to be really efficient and effective with treating our clients, it's seeing what the changes in the community are and figuring out how to help them, the best way possible.
Now, in a lot of cases, although you do get people from out of state and out of the area, I know you've helped people from Jersey and from Ohio, from here and there, but a lot of what you deal with is right here in our own community, and you are smack dab in the center of it, and that makes it important for you to keep I guess the word I'm looking for is to keep a good reputation with the community. That's very important for you guys, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a really good reputation with the court system. We have with many of the hospitals, with other treatment centers, because we're in a ladder, we're a step down or a step up to other treatment centers as well. So we definitely want to keep those lines of communication open and a good relationship with them.
Now, for somebody who might be suffering from addiction, their community is their families and their loved ones, their children, their husbands, their wives, their mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, that unit. When you do treat the individual, how much attention is given to those people that are in that individual's life, their family and their close ones? Do you guys have any programming that helps them as well, or that they can be included in the recovery process?
Absolutely. We know that our clients are going to be more successful if their family or support system is integrated into that. So we're always going to meet the client first. We're going to, do it on their terms and make sure that any session that is coming, the family's coming, that we're preparing them for that session and that they're telling us what's acceptable and what's not. So we're very thoughtful about planning for each of those. But we want to integrate the family as much as we can, because the other piece that could be missing is that the family doesn't understand their addiction or their mental health symptoms. So we really need to help educate everybody. And we do. We have curriculums based on working with the family. So it's really, really amazing the result you get, I guess, when you're working with the family and the client.
That's excellent. And again, it's a large service to the community to have that. You also, I know that Chrysalis and the recovery centers put a lot of effort into things like preparing them to go out into their communities and become productive, and to not be productive in the sense that, well, now I've got to go out and be a productive person because I've got to give back and I got to but to actually enjoy their lives and have a good life. Yeah. So what are some of the things that you do to prepare them to go outside and do that? So
we want to treat the whole person. We're not just treating, addiction or mental health on its own, because we know it affects every facet of your life. So we're looking at your health. We're looking at your independent living skills. We're looking at your community supports, like we talked about the family, but also meetings outside, whatever that support system needs to be healthy. And then looking at the symptoms and how it's integrated into all of that. So we want to make sure that we've touched every area and that they're feeling healthy in all of those areas before they graduate. Excellent. I did hear, had the pleasure of meeting Ivana down in Dade, and they talked about things in the PSR and in the IOP, and everything from job fairs to anything else they can do to connect people to being successful on the outside. If the only success is not drinking or using, that's not enough to keep somebody on the right path, is it? Right, or fulfilled. Right. So if we're just looking at not doing something, we're not looking at doing something. So we're looking at forward motion, positive, something, what gets their fire burning, right? Like what can they be passionate about to move forward, to make this something that's not a piece of their life anymore. But the only way to do that, because you're putting it out there now, the only way to do that is to pay attention to the individual. It can't just be cookie cutter. No. So you're telling me that Chrysalis, we do that, you pay attention to the individual. Yeah, everything's very individualized. So from the assessment day one, we're not, even when you call and you say, this is my insurance, we could say, okay, these are services you're eligible for, or we have a scholarship here. But that still doesn't mean that you're going to come in and be in a certain type of treatment. You have to come in for an assessment, which is at least, it's about 2 hours long, that our licensed clinician is going to sit with you. And then they're going to tell you at the end of that assessment what their recommendation is. Really, for the most fruitful outcome is what we're looking for. So at the end of that, and then it's for the client to commit if that's what they want to do with us. And then from there on, the treatment plan is created, and it's very individualized. Every single goal is made with the client. We're not just saying, oh, hey, we have all these treatment plans made, go ahead and sign this, we're going to have you work on that. Right. That's never something we would do. So literally every single goal, we're saying, hey, we heard you said this, so how do we work on that? You don't like this about yourself, or you do want to improve this about yourself. How do we build a goal around that that's measurable, that we can show you at the end, at your graduation, that you have met successfully all of these different goals? It's really awesome.
That's fantastic. I want everybody to pay attention to these phone numbers. If you want to call the center in Broward. Now, if you're coming from outside of Broward or Dade, you can call either one of these numbers. Probably Broward number is the best number to call if you're calling from outside the area. But if you want more information, to get help, to schedule a tour, to sit down and talk with somebody, or to simply find out if you're appropriate for treatment. If you're in Broward, the number is 954-792-9241. That's 954-792-9241. If you are in Dade or Miami area, 305-664-4555. That's 305-664-4555. These numbers will be included in our posts and our hashtags, and as well as on the screen if you're watching the video. But what we want to do is encourage people to call in and find out. The biggest crime is just not making a call, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you want the help, we want to be there to do it. So just reach out.
So reach out to Elisabeth and her team, and of course the entire staff at Chrysalis and their recovery centers for their PSR and IOP programs. Right now, you've been watching Recovery Today. I'm Scott. We'll catch you next time.